What's up, PlayStation Nation? It's your boy Jay Barry, and I'm back with another live stream here to talk about Final Fantasy VII Remake. This is news number 12. You already know we've been doing these live streams for about say 9 months now. You know where to go to get your Final Fantasy VII news, speculations, theories, breakdowns. You already know. But what is good, everybody? Hopefully everybody's enjoying their Tuesday evening. It's been a wonderful week so far. We're only 2 days in, guys. We're only 2 days in, and it's been a wonderful week already, man. With Final Fantasy VII Remake demo dropping yesterday, early yesterday morning, like 4 a.m. Eastern time. That thing was on the store in North America, and then today, Grand Blue Fantasy Versus came out, a game that I'm highly anticipated. And right after this stream, I will be in the lab because I haven't touched the game yet. But I can't wait, man. I can't wait to play that game. But this is about Final Fantasy VII and the remake, the greatest game ever made, the game of the generation. You know what I'm saying? Do you guys know what I'm saying? Yo, what is good? Tekken God Jets, what is up, man? Definitely see you enjoying the game, man. You know that it's a great game, man. It's a great game. Yo, Yajiro, what is good, man? Yo, Plus Ultra, what is up, man? Definitely good to see you in here. Yo, my man Buck Roger in the building. Yo, Buck, what is good, man? What is good, man? Yeah, you see the haters? I'm going to talk about the haters for a little bit. Then I'm going to go into my whole impressions and spiel. Because the things I'm going to be talking about in this live stream is going to be my demo impressions. It's also going to be like the ultimate FAQ for this game. So I'm going to be answering a lot of the concerns that I see on Twitter. You know, everybody keep claiming this game is episodic and all that stuff. I'm going to be answering all those stuff in one compact live stream because I see a lot of people pushing that false narrative about the game, and it's very simple. You know, all you got to do is pretty much like use Google and you'll find the information that you'll need you know, for this game. Yo, Blue Mustang, what is good, man? Yo, Quavo, what is up? Definitely appreciate y'all coming through, man. What's up? This is about my first Final Fantasy game sold, though. That's good, man. I see a lot of new people coming into the game and they're enjoying it, which is something that's amazing because now you understand the reasons why, you know, we pretty much love this game. You know, basically, you know, what they did to this game is that they completely overhauled the game from the original game. It is probably the best remake I've ever seen ever, and I've seen the Resident Evils, I've seen all of that, but from the difference of Final Fantasy VII, the original game, to this remake, it's such a huge leap in advancement. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous, man. And now we seen the game fully voiced over. Listen, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you guys. You guys might not even believe me, but this game right here, from Final Fantasy VII, it really means a lot to me. You know what I mean? Ever since I started up this YouTube channel, I've always been talking about this game, Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII is not my first Final Fantasy game that I played. Pretty much my second Final Fantasy game that I played. My first Final Fantasy was 6 on Super Nintendo. And then I got 7, I think the year after. So I got Super Nintendo kind of later than my friends and all that stuff, but definitely got 7. And 7 was the first time I've ever wrote up like a FAQ, like a guide on how to play this game. Cause yo, I kid you not, yo, I live, shit, breathe this game when I was a little kid, man. And you know, like in the back, you had the little notes and you writing down the little notes in the back and all that stuff. You know what I mean? I was putting all that stuff in just one compiled stuff for my and that's when I was doing it for just my friends. I was just doing it for friends, you know what I mean? Like I was like, yo, people was like, yo, Barry, how I beat this boss, man? It's crazy, you know, cause we was little kids, and I was just like, yo, let me print this out real quick. Printing out mad sheets. Went to the library, printing out sheets, giving them my little FAQ. It's crazy, man. It's crazy how, you know, I mean, those memories and all that stuff, and me playing this game. On PS1, I beat this game probably like hundreds of times. I beat this game, right? It went to PC a couple of years after I remember went to PC, and that's when I had like a compact Presario. I think it was like a Pentium 3 PC, you know what I mean? And I was playing Final Fantasy D. I don't even think it was the best suited PC to play that game, but I was playing it there. I was playing 8 on the PC as well. You know what I mean? When we came back, it came back on PS3, played it there. It was on the Vita, I played it. I pretty much beat Final Fantasy VII on like every platform this game came on to, except for the Switch. The Switch, I haven't beat it yet, you know, because I haven't really played my Switch as much as I could, you know what I mean? I don't really take my Switch out to travel with me. But I will beat it on the Switch one of these days. I pretty much passed Midgar on the Switch and all that stuff. On this channel right here, I've put up strategies and stuff about Final Fantasy VII. I have saved data for Final Fantasy VII about beating Ruby Red, Ruby on Weapon, Emerald Weapon. I have all that stuff. I just have to upload it. I have all that stuff. Those videos are like 3 years old that I have those videos on my PS4, but I just haven't uploaded them. But when the game comes out, I'll upload those stuff, because you know what I mean? Like I have a whole bunch of tricks on how to beat Ruby Weapon. I pretty have one solid way how to beat Emerald Weapon. But you know what I mean? Like I platinum Final Fantasy VII, I think probably like 2 years ago, because all the times that I've played Final Fantasy VII, I never really, because I didn't look at the trophies for this. This is my quick little story with the PS4 Final Fantasy VII. I didn't look at the trophies for this game, and I didn't know that they had like Barret as a trophy. You have to get Barret on a date for a trophy. So in my original playthrough, when I played it again on PS4, you know, I didn't do any of that stuff to get Barret, you know, answering the questions a certain way, responding to characters a certain way to get the points up for Barret. So when you get back to the Golden Saucer, you get him on a date. Normally I'll just go for Tifa, because you know Tifa, that's the bae right there, you know what I mean? So I beat the game, 100%ed it. You know, my first playthrough on PS4, I was like, yo, trophies, let's get that. Then I had to play it over again, 100% that again, and I got the date with Barret, and that's when I platinumed the game, you know what I mean? But I love this game. I have videos on this channel, you know, pretty much showing people like glitches with a chocobo. I have so much stuff on this channel, man, about Final Fantasy VII, and a lot of Final Fantasy, matter of fact, because it's just stuff I grew up with doing as a kid playing this game. So like when I say this game is like my favorite game of all time, it's no joke. You know what I mean? People that really know me, you know what I mean, the party chats and the group chats, you know, friends in the real world, they know I don't stop talking about this game. And when the remake got announced, I was so hyped for that remake during that E3 at PSX. The council members can attest to this. At PSX, there was about hundreds of people on the line, and I told the people, hundreds of people on the line, they're going to be showing Final Fantasy VII Remake, you know, this PSX. You know what I mean? People was looking at me, they was doubting me. They was like, nah, there's no way. There's no way they're going to show gameplay of that. People that never even know me, they was just like, yo, this guy's crazy. And behold, 2015 PlayStation experience, they finally revealed the gameplay for Final Fantasy VII Remake. Now, you know, we all know that this is not the gameplay that they showed at 2015 is not the same gameplay that we are playing now today. It's a completely different game, completely different developers. You know, Square Enix at first, when it was initially doing this remake, they was handing it over to CyberConnect 2. I guess they didn't like what CyberConnect 2 was doing, and they didn't agree with the vision that they wanted for the remake. So Square took it in-house, and they got all the original people that did Final Fantasy VII to do this remake. And while they were redeveloping the game, you know, they came up with newer concepts. They made the game much larger in scope. Midgar, much more of a living city. The game is so much more expansive than originally intended it was supposed to be when it was shown at 2015. So that's what the reason why we waited so long to get this game. You know what I mean? Because it's being redeveloped in-house by Square Enix, by all the original directors, producers, developers. You got everybody there: Yoshinori Kitase, Tetsuya Nomura, all those guys on there. The original you know, soundtrack people for the OSTs back onto the game. All that stuff was there back into this remake here. And it's very, very disheartening. It's very deceitful, by the way, when you see people come out here and say that this game is trash and it's nothing like the original and all that stuff, which is it's not supposed to be like the original. It's a remake. But at the end of the day, it's like all the original people that made the game that you personally love is doing this remake, and you're saying that this remake is trash. That's how you know when people is lying or they're not really fans of this franchise or this game, because you know they just lying. I'm just like, yo, you're lying. You know, I seen it all over Twitter today, and I will expose them very soon. But this is not what this video is going to be about. It's not what this stream is going to be. Yo, Chris Righteous, what's good, my guy? Yo, Sam Ash, what is up, man? Shout out to my man Chris Righteous, man. That's my guy right there. But yeah, guys, this live stream, I'm going to be doing my demo impressions, and also I'm going to be doing the ultimate FAQ for Final Fantasy VII Remake. All the things that were spoken about this game, where people have their concerns or where people just misguided at. Hopefully this live stream will help people out when it comes to this game, and you know, will stop all these false notions that's, you know, being put out there in the internet about this game. Yo, Mega, what is good, man? Yo, shout out to my man Mega, man. But yo, you guys already know I've been doing these streams, you know, breakdown videos, all that stuff for like good 9-10 months now on this channel, man. And you already listen. A lot of people, I'm not a big channel. A lot of people wouldn't credit me as far as when I say things on this channel, because I'm a very small channel, right? If somebody say something that I've said in their video, nobody would know that I said it, because I'm just a super small channel, right? But a lot of the bigger YouTubers that I know specifically they watch this channel, or they've heard something from this channel and they put it out there on their channel. But you know, I'll never take the credit. It's all good. You don't got to credit me. Just know I got the best list on YouTube and I'm out here. Yo, Chris, no open chat today, man. No open chat. I'm pretty much going to be doing this solo, but I will be having to speak from the heart, where, you know, people can talk about their demo impressions and all that stuff, and other, you know, news that I want to talk about. I'm gonna try maybe like Sunday or something like that. I'll try to do it then, but if it's not Sunday, I'll let people know and see what's good with that. But let's get into it, guys. Gonna give my demo impressions of Final Fantasy VII Remake. So I knew this demo was coming pretty much for a long time. Pretty much everybody kind of knew the demo was coming, but I got a really good person in Square Enix, you know, that always feed me information and always tell me information, and that person I've known for years, and I trust that person, you know, with info, because majority of the stuff that person says pretty much came to fruition, you know, with Square Enix and stuff like that, on other things as well. But what he told me was that the remake demo is coming either Friday or it's coming Tuesday in the morning when the PlayStation Store updates, right? So that's when I was putting out the tweets. Like, everybody was like, what the hell is J Barry talking about? I was putting out the tweets, yo, Friday. And people was like, Friday what? What's going on Friday? I was putting Friday, it's going to be a good day, blah, blah, blah. You know, keep it moving. You know what I mean? And I was just anticipating. I was just excited. I was like, yeah, let's get it, man. Can't wait to play this demo. You know, it got leaked and people over here hacking out their ass, stealing the demo to play the demo. And I'm just waiting to play this damn game. But Square Enix is like, nah, nah, we gonna drop this thing on a Monday in the morning. And I was excited. I was excited because, you know, when I woke up super early. I woke up, I dropped that, I downloaded the demo, but I had to go to work, and I had to go to work because I had two big meetings, you know, that Monday morning. So while everybody was playing the demo and enjoying the demo, everybody's hitting my DMs, everybody's at me like, yo, Bar, the demo's lit. I'm at work, just like, you know what I mean? Like, just upset. But when I came home and I started playing that demo, oh my God, listen, yo, tears of joy. Matter of fact, yo, shout out to Remote Play. I was remote playing from work because I had to get a taste of the demo. You know what I mean? So I was remote playing at work, and I forgot my controller on my couch. I forgot my controller on the couch because I was rushing out, and I was like, God damn, man, I could probably, I was, you know, you had those thoughts. I was thinking like, yo, I should turn back, let's drive home real quick. You know, I'm over here calculating the time it would take, and then I come back, nobody would say nothing. I'm not going to be missed. I was like, nah, I couldn't make it in time, you know. But, you know, I was remote playing at work, and I mean, just looking at the demo, looking at the opening, you know, scene that they did, which they cut off a little bit of the open scene, and just moving Cloud around once he hopped off the train. I wasn't really playing the demo from Remote Play, but I was just, you know, moving around a little bit and just enjoying the music, listening to the music, embracing the ambiance of what they did with this game. Like, yo, this is a true remake, man. Like, the first impressions that I got, this you know, just for now, when you're actually visually seeing the opening scene on your TV or your monitor. I got a 1440p monitor, HDR. I got a 4K TV. I played it on both of them. And that's just the sheer beauty of the game. When you see Aerith that's praying, you know what I mean, speaking to the planet with the Mako leaking out, the little bit of live stream that's leaking out, the transitions into the opening, when the, you know, just like the original game, it pans out, and so you see Midgar. But what makes this remake amazing is that when it pans out, you see Midgar, you're actually seeing a lot of detail within Midgar. As you see, the different sections or the little sectors look different. One look a little bit upscale, the other one look a little bit, you know, run down. And this is just the upper plate that we're seeing, people. You know what I mean? So when I was looking at that stuff, I was just like, damn, man, look at all that stuff we're going to be exploring. We never got to do that in the original game. And don't get it twisted, the original game, you know, Midgar was an amazing part, you know, the beginning part of the game. But now you're expanding upon that. You're gonna be actually in the city as it breathes. Oh my God, man. So when that first little cutscene, actually seeing it now instead of the YouTube trailer, it's actually in your hands. It's actually in front of your eyes, looking at that video, looking at that game being played. And, you know, they step in the air, flowers, and it just pans out, and the music hit there. Then you hear the train. Yo, the music, the sound design. Oh my God, it just hits all of the tunes in your body, man. Yo, listen, guys, I kid you not. Like I told you guys for, you know, a good 20 minutes, this game means a lot to me. This remake means a lot to me. I legit, and I told two people this. I told my good friend in the real life, and I told my man Persona. I said, yo, real talk? I teared up, bruh. I teared up. No cap. I teared up just looking at the sheer beauty of my favorite game of all time being remade. No cap. I teared up right in front of my TV. I was just like, yo, they did it. They did it. You know, I'm looking at myself. Myself is looking back at me. I'm looking at myself. Myself is looking back at me. I was like, yo, they did it. And I'm just over here like, yo, Bari. No, yo, there's one other game that got me tearing up. Well, a few games get me tearing. I get emotional sometimes, especially when it comes to RPG. World of Final Fantasy. The first ending got me tearing up. The second ending got me tearing up. This right here got me tearing up. I was tearing up, no cap, no joke. On everything, on my grandmother, no joke. I was tearing up, yo. And I was just like, yo, Square, man, you did it. Cloud getting off the train, he jumps off the train, it's like, and Barrett, yo, Merc. And yo, actually hearing the stuff, like, you know, it's a big difference when you're watching a YouTube video and when now the actual game is in your hands. It's a huge difference. It's much more tactile, it's much more personal, it's much more intimate. You know what I mean? So when you're seeing that stuff and you're seeing Cloud's demeanor, and it's just like, yo, one thing I gotta say about this remake that they're nailing, they're pretty much nailing all of like Cloud's, like, you know how his animations were, like he didn't care with all those little polygons that was shown in the PS1. You can still depict what Cloud was feeling or how his attitude was. They nailed that in the remake, like, you know, his posture, his demeanor, his stances, you know what I mean, him holding like he don't care, he's crossing his hands, you know what I mean, like his feet, you know what I mean, it's placed a certain way. And I was just like, yo, they nailed his posture, they nailed his stances in the damn game. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. You say your wife woke you up? Yo, yo, I woke up, and you know what's funny? I woke up because normally I get up early in the morning. I get up around 5 o'clock every morning. That Monday, I got up even earlier, and you know what I wanted to do? What I wanted to do was to do combos in On the Night in Birth. That's a fighting game. I woke up, no lie, I woke up like around 4:30ish. And I was like, you know what? Let me just do some combos real quick. You know, practice some combos and On the Night in Birth. And that, yo, and I turned on my PS4. And I went to go check if Grand Blue was up for pre-order. And that's when I saw Final Fantasy demo, right? I was like, what? And then, yo, when I looked at Twitter just to make sure, like, yo, is everybody seeing this? And yo, I had mad notifications that, yeah, Final Fantasy 7 remake is up for demo. Yo, mad people DM me, mad people added me on Twitter. I was like, yo, and then I'm downloading. I'm like, yo, 7 gigs. This game is 100 gigs, guys. Over 100 gigs. This game is. We only got taste of 7. And I'm pretty sure they chopped that thing up. That first little bombing run, I'm pretty sure they chopped it up. But we're gonna talk about, we're gonna get into this impressions, man, because I'm gonna break it down in a couple of ways: graphics, the characters, the dialogue, the battle system, and I'm going to talk about the overall boss for my impression. So, yo, Sam Ash, what's up, man? When is Relink dropping? I know it's dropping in Japan later this year. I don't know when it's gonna drop for the US yet. But Grand Blue Fantasy Versus is out right now today, which have RPG mode and a typical fighting game stuff right there. So graphically, how this game has impressed me. This game looks good, guys. It looks amazing. It looks better than I even thought it was gonna look. Like, I knew it was gonna look good, but when I'm playing it, like I said, I played it on my monitor, I played it on the 4K TV, and I was just like, yo, I'm just blown away. Just the sheer detail of Cloud's armor, the Buster Blade looking so amazing. You see the little chinks there, here and there, the grooves into the Buster Blade. Man, it just, Barrett character details, it's so on point because there's so much layers into this Barrett as the character, his body, you know what I mean? He got layers, he got a jacket, he got the shirt on, he got his little buckle, his gun arm looks amazing. And I like the fact that they put like a little cloth underneath the gun arm because it looks more realistic. Like, the gun arm is just not a metal piece that's attached, like, you know what I mean? That would be probably uncomfortable on his skin. But it just looks so good that he has the glasses on, but you can still see through the glasses a little bit. His haircut is on point. Baltimore's, what's up, man? His haircut is, Dragon Sword, what is up, bro? What is up, Dragon Sword, man? Good to see you in here. My man Mega in here. Yo, Tronigy, what is good, man? Sorry if I missed you guys. I was just in the zone a little bit. But yo, Barrett character model looks amazing. Avalanche, Jesse, Biggs, Wedge, character models look amazing. You know, one thing I did too as well, I was looking at the enemies. Cause you know, in a lot of RPGs, the main characters will probably look the best, right? As it should. But the enemies, the lower level enemies, they will look like you know. But this game, the little grunt soldiers, oh my god, they look so good, man. And in everything that I'm comparing, I'm just like comparing the original to this, and I'm just like, yo, look at the sheer detail and work that they're putting into this game. Like, it just, everything just looks A1 on point. When you get off the train, the transition from that cutscene just to into the game, it's just it's like the Order 1886 out here. Jesus, I was just like, I'm in the game. I'm moving cloud. I'm like, whoa, this jug's crazy. And they did that multiple times in this demo as well, man. But yo, the detail within the reactor. Oh my god, yo, I'm going down the ladder and I'm just panning the right stick over, looking all over the environment, and I'm looking at the Mako that's being bubbling up in the reactor. I'm looking at I'm looking at the ladder. You know what I mean? I'm just looking at everything, man. I'm just like, wow, man, it looks good. And they added little details, like the little steps. They put these little neon lights on there. You know, it just looked mad steampunkish a little bit. Like, it just looks great, man. Like, graphically, very, very impressed. From the hair works, from the animations. Yo, one thing I love is hit sparks. Like, I play a lot of fighting games, so hit sparks is very, very important. Like, acknowledging that I get a hit or acknowledging that somebody's blocking. And when you're hitting with Cloud, it feels weighty, it feels chunky, but you know he's a strong, skinny dude. Like, he's carrying this blade, like it feels good, man. It feels good, yo. The shock troopers, yo, that shot me right there. No pun intended. Them having the shock troopers in there, I was like, yo. Now they switching it up, making it a little bit more difficult, and I'm like, ooh. Very, 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 very great demo, man. This was an amazing demo. The magic, yo, when you throw fire and it hits them, it's like burn. You see the actual burn. Oh my god. And when you stagger the sweeper with fire, and you see the fire still all on the sweeper, you hit thunder with Barry, and it's like boom. The cure. You seen Cure in that good old 2020 graphics. Oh my god, man. Guys, man. I was very, very pleased when it came to graphics with the demo. And there was a lot of motion blur within it, but I can understand the motion blur. Like, motion blur don't really bother me like it does other gamers, but I like to have motion blur on, especially if it's like an action game, because when you see the actual swinging of Cloud's sword, when you're pressing square and you're swinging his sword, and when you're using the special abilities and you're using the magic, the motion blur gives it that realism that, yo, he's swinging this thing fast. Like, you know, when you go into Punisher mode and you start pressing square, and he does like that cyclone type swings. Like, it just looks really, really good with the motion blur. And then when you switch on over to, like, when you use a tactical mode and it slows down, you see the actual swing coming and you see that little blur. I love that stuff right there, man. So them added the motion blur into it, it was really good for me as well. Like, I wasn't bothered at all. It just matched up with everything. And obviously, you know, when you use a Barry and you look at Barry animations in the battle, like, Barry's a much more hunkered down, slow kind of character. His role is not that, you know, as evasive as Cloud's. But man, graphically, A1. Then you got to the guard scorpion, aka the Scorpion Sentinel. Ooh! Yo, gaming with Persona, what is good, my guy? Yo, shout out to my man Persona. When you see the Scorpion Sentinel and the layers on that boss, oh my god, man. Oh my god, man. Graphically, guys, I was blown away. I was blown away graphically. I'm very, very pleased graphically with the game. You know what I mean? So, you know, going into the actual retail game, I'm pretty sure everybody will be, you know, pleased graphically. You know, that this is looking like a remake. This is looking like a 2020 game. You know, this is taking a 1997 game and they went full throttle with this, man. Graphically, like they didn't hold back at all. You know what I mean? Looks amazing, man. Everybody character models look amazing. The facial animations from Cloud being annoyed. Yo, oh my god. Yo, I was just like, yo, even Barrett. Yo, Barrett facial animation is like, what? What you say? Say that again. And you actually see some of the stuff, because not everything is a one-to-one when it comes to the actual dialogue. But the new stuff in there, man. It made it very, very believable. Now you're seeing the actual animations and the facial expressions with these characters. It really, really A1. The music, the sound, like I mentioned before, the music is amazing. I like the new composition with the music, the mix of the old and the new. You know, it was just a great mix. I was bumping my head. Like I told you at work, I was remote playing and I was just standing there, just listening to the bombing run theme, like, you know, I was like, yo, I was bumping to this. Like, the new music is really, really good. Yeah, I did watch Kid Smooth video. I'm very embarrassed of Kid Smooth, but I'm not here to really like knock other people. I'll probably do that more like speaking from the heart. I'm just here to give my impressions and, you know, this ultimate FAQ. But let's talk about the characters, man. Because that's one of the most important things why a lot of people love Final Fantasy VII. I believe that Final Fantasy VII, out of all Final Fantasy games, has the best line. And, you know, that's the best, you know, roster, you know, of characters. Where I do feel that each character, their individual story was just most, you know, appeasing to me personally when I played all these Final Fantasy games. I do feel that majority of the cast in Final Fantasy VII, they can have their own spin-off game and it will be, you know, well received, or it will be dope, you know what I mean, minus, you know, Dirge Cerberus. Even though I didn't think Dirge Cerberus was that bad, you know what I mean, I didn't like certain things about the game, but it was cool, right? I'm a Vincent fanboy. But characters, remake, with the animations, the new graphics and all that stuff, it just makes the characters more believable. It makes them more living. Like just seeing Cloud and his attitude and how he feels about the world, you know, care, not interested. You know what I mean? I was just like, yo, come on, Square. Yeah, yo, I was loving it. Yo, Wedge. Yo, matter of fact, yeah, Wedge. My man Wedge came up to Cloud, was like, come on, man. You're not just doing this for the, you know, for the money. Nobody's doing this for the money. You know what I mean? You got to do this for something else. And Cloud is giving the attitude like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm here for the money, man. And then Barrett was like, yo, you better make sure. I hope Tiff was right, man. Make sure you're worth all the gil. And I was like, yo. Just looking at the characters, you know, banter and the dialogue with these characters, it just made everything just like all the stuff that you played and you just read as you a kid growing up, you know, constantly playing Final Fantasy VII. You always had like a imagination of how these characters are portraying themselves, but now you're actually seeing it, and some of the stuff is actually lining up with what you imagine. That right there hits me right there, man. You know what I mean? What they did with Cloud, I forgot the dudes. I know it's a new guy that's doing Cloud. I forgot his name, but I felt like he's doing a great job. I think Erica is doing a great job with Jess. I forgot the dude's name that did Biggs. Wedge looks believable. Yo, John Bentley's doing an amazing job as Barrett. Yo, Barrett is everything that I've imagined that he would be. Over the top, you know what I mean? But his over the top is just the layer that this guy's a really compassionate dude. You know what I mean? That's just a defensive layer that he's really like Barrett is really a sensitive guy. And you kind of see that a little bit where in the elevator scene where he's going up with Jesse and Cloud, he's being over the top like, man, you don't see what's going on with the planets? You don't see it, you don't hear the planet crying out and this and that. Yeah, he looks very animated. You know, he's over the top right there. He's speaking from the heart. But if you look at the dialogue and read what he's saying, yo, he's really caring about others and how this planet is going to end up being. His overall, you know, his overall feelings towards this mission is his compassion, that he really cares for this planet and he's trying to take care of this planet so, you know, him and his family and his friends, they can get along and all that stuff. You know what I mean? It was just so amazing, man. It was just so amazing to seeing Barrett like that, because we don't really see Barrett like too much voiceover outside of, you know, Advent Children. We saw him a little bit in Dirge, you know what I mean, but you don't really see him like that, man. So just seeing that now with actual voiceovers and all, I was like, yo, John Bentley, you doing an amazing job, man. Amazing. Yeah, the American version of Barrett is based off of Mr. T. But in Japan, the Japanese Barrett is actually way different than how American would act. Yo, what was that? Yo, Jamal, what is good, man? Yo, can I be a mod? Oh, okay. You know that, cause you was a mod last time, no doubt, man. But yeah, I was very impressed with all the characters here. The dialogue, A1. Yo, just when you fighting a boss, I'm gonna show a little clip here of the boss. You know, Sentinel guard, the Sentinel, the Scorpion Sentinel. I gotta keep remembering that it's not Guard Scorpion anymore. Just fighting the boss and the dialogue between these characters is just amazing, man. It's just amazing.
Heads up.
What in the hell?
So I'm gonna turn this down a little bit, but listen to these guys go. How the hell we fight this thing?
Reinforced armor plating.
You know, and in their banter, you know, cause this is the first boss is always like a tutorial boss, right? It's to teach you the mechanics of the game and how things work. You know, that enemies gonna have a weakness. Enemies gonna have certain states where if you attack them, they will have a counter attack. They teach you that very, very in the beginning of this game, and no different in here. You know, with the remake, they actually teach you that stuff as well, but in the original game, you only had one kind of dialogue when the guard Scorpion put up his tail. They're like, yo, I don't think we should attack it when the tail is up. You know what I mean? They let you know, like, I don't think we should attack. They don't really specifically tell you, but they hinted to you, like, I don't think we should attack it when the tail is up. That's the only real dialogue that you got from the original game when you're fighting a boss. In the original game, you're not really getting any dialogue when you fight like a boss or an enemy. But in this, you're getting dialogue back, and it's like, yo, maybe it might be weak to this. You should use lightning attacks and stuff like that. It's just crazy, man. Like how good it is.
Magic.
See, lightning magic.
No other option.
So this video right here was basically my first run. I wanted to upload my first run, you know, fighting the guard. I keep going guard. The Scorpion Sentinel. Just give you an idea, like, yo, what was my mindset here? Yo, my second playthrough, I ran through this boss like it was cakewalk. Yeah, like it was cakewalk. One thing I'm liking about the boss as well, that it's not. Well, I'm gonna save that. I just want to show you the dialogue for a second. Yo, Envy, what's good, man? But listen to the dialogue here. This is the tactical mode.
Deal with that.
Deal with that. I'm gonna get into a little bit more dialogue up some stuff.
Sure am glad I paid you a fortune in this.
You ain't paid me yet.
You see that? Yo, I'm sure damn glad I paid you a fortune and then some. You ain't played me yet. Yo, I just love that stuff, man. Like the dialogue and the banter was so good. Just listen to these characters that you love for years upon years, you know, fighting this first boss in the demo, man. I'm pretty sure when the retail game comes out, you're gonna get much more of that, you know, as they talking. You know, it just feels more organic. It feels like you're in the battle. It's just free flowing, organic battle when you're doing here, you know, with this boss fight. But yeah, so the graphics, the characters, I'm loving. The dialogue, I'm loving. Let's get into the actual battle system. So the battle system, we're going to go back here to guard scorpion. So when this trailer first got re-shown at state of play for PlayStation State of Play, I was breaking down this game. I was breaking down this trailer. I was like, yo, they have these ATB bars here. You know what I mean? I know they said it's going to be an action game, but I was telling people from the beginning that this game was going to be a hybrid battle system. It is not going to be just a hack and slash game like Final Fantasy 15 and Kingdom Hearts, that people saying, but you're going to actually have to be a little bit methodical when you play this game, because they're taking the old school element of the ATB system, right? The active battle time, right? They're taking that, the active time battle. I mean, I'm saying I'm all dyslexic and shit. They're taking that. So pretty much in Final Fantasy, or in other RPGs, you have a bar, right? Each time you do an attack, that bar depletes. Each time it's your turn to attack. So once that bar depletes, it's going to go into another, stage where it's filling up. So once it fills up, it's going to be your turn to either do an attack, to guard, to use an item, whatever you want to do. You have that time to do what you have to do. The thing is with Final Fantasy 7 that changed it up a little bit is that with Final Fantasy 7, it was still active. So regardless if you was doing whatever you had to do in the menus, that enemy, they're also on an active time bar. So that enemy's gauge is also filling up, and when that thing fills up, they can attack. Now you can't really see, you didn't get to see that enemy's bar, but it was running in the background of how the battle system worked. Here in this game, they took elements of that and they put it into an action game. So these two bars that you have here is your ATB, your active time bars, right? So within these two bars, you can go into command menu right here, pressing X, and you pretty much can treat the game how you would treat it like if you was playing an older RPG. But the difference is here is the action part of it is to gain this bar, you're going to pretty much have to attack the enemy. You're going to have to, press square or triangle and to gain the bar, rather than it just filling up itself. Like in the older games, you are actually doing something. You are actually being active to actually fill the bar up. One thing I like about this game so far is that they didn't deviate from the original feel of the game when it comes to the active time bar, because whatever you do within that command menu, use an ability, use magic, use an item, it takes up a bar. And if you don't have that bar, you won't be able to use some of those abilities outside of you. No, I still think that you have to, even if you have the shortcuts, you still have to have the bar available to use it. I gotta clarify that, but I'm pretty sure you do, because you can set up shortcuts like how Kingdom Hearts is. So if you want more for action, like an action type game, like an action RPG type game, like a Kingdom Hearts, you have these shortcuts where you press L1 and you can put like an ability, magic, and whatever item into the face button. So L1 and square might do braver, L1 and triangle might do the thrust move that Cloud does, L1 and X might do potion, but you're still going to need a ATB bar to even do that within a shortcut. And that's one thing I like about this game, because it's not just a mindless hack and slash. Like, I enjoyed 15 a lot when it came to the battle system, but 15 wasn't really a hard game for me. You know what I mean? It was just a game where I was attacking and doing cool stuff. This game, just from the first boss fight, matter of fact, just from the sweeper, you had to think on what you wanted to do, because the sweeper, if you play this game on normal, you're going to get hit with damage. These enemies are going to do damage regardless if it's a beginner enemy or a boss. You're going to do damage. Look at this. We just started this fight. I was full health, and this boss already got me to more than 25%, and 25% with Cloud. They're going to do damage here. But one thing I love about this is that this game, it allows you to use ATB and it allows you to think like, yo, am I gonna go for the frontal attack, or I'm just gonna heal up here in this situation so I don't get hit with so much damage, I don't have my health too low. You got to think about those things like that. When I listen to a lot of people's impressions and I see these people play the demo, I'm seeing them just go in and just hacking and slashing rather than thinking. And I've seen so many people die to this boss, this tutorial boss, and I'm over here like, yo, you cannot play this game like you're playing Final Fantasy 15. You cannot play this game like you're playing Kingdom Hearts. I see a lot of people comparing the battle system to these two games. They are not like those two games. This battle system and how it added the ATB makes it completely a new, this is like a new battle system for RPGs right now, because no other real RPG really have this type of system like that. You know what I mean? If not that I can think of anyone right now. You know what I mean? I'm thinking about Tales, I'm thinking about all these other RPGs. I'm like, they're very more action based. Like, you still very, very active while you do things. But when you use the ATB right here, it slows down. It gives you time. It's not like it's completely shut down, but it slows down your time, so it gives you time to do what you got to do. So if I want to do focus shot, or if I want to do steel skin, or I can press R2 or L2 because Cloud got ATB, and do a move for Cloud while I'm using Barret. The battle system it does feel so good. It feels so organic. Switching over to your characters, even when I'm in Barret right here. See, I use heals. I did steel skin right there, and I just switched over to Cloud. Right, I switched over to Cloud. Now Barret is going to be attacking here, just doing what he got to do. Boop, boop. Then I'm going to go into ability here. Yep, focus thrust. You know what I mean? It just feels so good, man. And here I'm looking over. I'm going to heal. Get Cloud's health up, but I know Barret already has steel skin up, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna save that potion for a later time because that steel skin is still active. You know what I mean? It's just a battle system that, yes, you can have fun with the hacking and slashing, but eventually you're going to have to think a little bit. You're going to have to decide, do I use a potion here, or do I go be aggressive and attack, or do I lay back and be defensive while I hold R1 and guard and gain a little bit of ATB there. And you do earn ATB very, very quickly. But I love that stuff, because when I think about this, and when I actually finish this demo, I started thinking to myself like, yo, it's gonna get even crazier with the other enemies that you're going to be fighting. And, you know what I mean? You're going to have to even think even more. You know what I mean? So the battle system in this game, it was very fun. It's very, very addictive. I'm going to show another little clip here on Twitter that I uploaded. You know what I mean? And just to explain, so you can do basic attacks. Cloud got two different set of combos that you can do, and you can interchange them as well. So you can do just pressing square, and he will do his regular combo where he pops the enemy up, then he does a heavy slash. Or you can hold square, and that combo that he does is for like multiple enemies. So if there's multiple enemies like ganging up on you, then you would probably do the whole square move, so you can hit multiple enemies at once, because he does this sweeping slash, and it does a lot of damage. It does a lot of damage. But it's cool when you interchange those two sets of combos. That there's times where I've popped the enemy up, but then I did the whole combo where I hold square, and I did the slash where I hit this enemy and not the other enemy. Then I go into the command menu, the tactical mode. Then I do the thrust move, and it's just like, yo, it just feels so good, man. It feels very, very organic, man. Yo, Persona is definitely getting platinum for real. I kid you not, I'm gonna be playing this game forever and forever.
We can take this Humber jump.
So here's another thing I'm showing you guys on Twitter.
We rushed in. We died.
You see what I'm saying?
We did.
They give you tips here.
We can take this Humber jump.
That hunk of junk is a heavy weapon platform.
That hunk of junk is a heavy weapon platform. If we rush in, we die. And this is his whole his whole demo. It was a tutorial to get you to learn how to play the game. That was the first bombing run. That's what the first bombing run does. It's to teach you how to play the game, all the mechanics that's in the game. They showed you all the mechanics. They showed you the locking on a character. They showed you how to use the actual lock on with the right stick, how to switch over to a character. They teach you how to run in that little laser area. It was like, yo, here you can run in the game, you can dash a little bit. They teach you how to evade. They teach you the different modes where you have Punisher and you have your operator mode with Cloud. Then you have with Barrett, you can hold square with Barrett as he shoots. His gun arm is going to be heated up, and then you can press triangle to overcharge to shoot all the heat from his gun arm. This battle system is so good. Oh my god, guys. Yo, I was just like, yo, I'm so amazed here. Look, right here. His hand is gonna heat up.
Need to hit it with magic.
I'm gonna heat his hand up again.
That should give us an opening.
Then overcharge. You see what I'm saying? It's so good. Oh, it's louder than me? Oh, my bad. Let me turn it down a little bit. Let me turn it down a little bit. Hold on. But you see what I'm saying? Like, it's just so good. Now I'm using Steel Skin here, using ability. I'm going to cast Thunder here just to weaken it. And now see, I'm switching over with Cloud, but I'm still in the menu. See, he's slowed down. Cloud is still attacking. He's still moving. Then I'm going to switch over to Cloud to do something. Done. Switch over to Cloud. Oh, yo, guys, so good. I did Braver there. So good. That's the auto combat I was talking about here, where you hold square. This is the whole square attack here. See that little sweep? That's when you hold square. This is Punisher mode. So I went into Punisher mode. I'm going to set up an ability because I think it's going to get staggered soon. I see that thrust that Cloud has, yo, it causes so much that focus thrust. It causes so much stagger. It's crazy. Oh, there's more. Yo, I know there's gonna be more to the battle because yo, you're gonna be leveling up these. Because you remember what they said with the swords, that each weapon is gonna come with its own different abilities. So I'm pretty sure the weapon is going to work different. You got to master each weapon. You know what I mean? Like it's going to be crazy. Then you have the material that's going to be taken into place, and I'm pretty sure you're going to be gaining more abilities as you go. And then you have the limit breaks as well. The battle system in this game is going to be amazing, man. It's so addictive. It's so addictive. Like this, look at this. A lunge towards an enemy with a piercing strike that hits multiple times significantly increases stagger. So that's why I switch over to Barrett real quick. Right here, I'm going to stagger. Look how much stagger that caused. And I'm already in Punisher mode. Well, no, he switched because now I got to switch back to Punisher mode here. Boom, 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 boom. Oh my god! Yo, this game, guys, this game is gonna be amazing, man. It's gonna be amazing. But I've been watching a lot of people play the game. I've been watching a lot of people. Streams. Like, I just watch streams and stuff like that. I feel like everybody's going into this game like it's Final Fantasy 15, and they're going into it the wrong way. You cannot just spam basic attacks in this game. Yes, basic attacks is gonna, get you that ATB bar, but it's not the real damage dealer in this game. You're going to have to use abilities. You're going to have to use that ATB bar to use the abilities so you can get as much damage as you can. You can pretty much compare it to like a fighting game, right? When you do a certain input for a fighting game where you do a certain string, and then you want to finish it off with like a special move, like a special ability, like a Dukin or a Shoryuken or something like that. That's where the damage comes into the finish off the pretty much all the basic attacks that you've been doing. And I see a lot of people going into the stuff, and you can't spam because you will get destroyed. You try to spam against them shock troopers. I know people was playing on easy. Like I said, I was watching my man Kid Smooth stream, and I was just like, in my mind, I was like, yo, you're playing on easy, because he was staggering enemies with like one combo. I was like, this is crazy. This man playing on easy. Because yo, when them shock troopers came, there's a specific area that I know everybody know what I'm talking about. They introduce it to the shock trooper, right? Not that difficult, but then they introduce it to the shock trooper and the sentry guns, the little sentries. That's when he's like, yo, alright, hold up, I gotta think a little bit here, because those things are lighting you up in the background, and the shock troopers are being really aggressive. But you go in there just trying to spam, you're gonna get washed. A lot of people is not really using their magic as well. I feel like using your magic is really good. Like, I see a lot of people fighting the Scorpion Sentinel. They weren't using their magic. They wasn't using thunder. Cloud tells you in the beginning, lightning attack is weak against lightning attacks. Use it. It would stagger them really quickly. I'm gonna show you here in the beginning here. I did 2 lightning attacks with this boss. I did 2 lightning attacks with this boss, and he didn't go full stagger, but he was pretty much like almost staggered. Watch this right here. So I'm gonna try to get some ATB with Cloud here. I got knocked away. Like I said, you gotta figure out the attacks with the Scorpion Sentinel. I'm like, okay, I gotta really dodge, much better when he does that. But here, I'm gonna build up some ATB with Barret here. Overcharge. Like I said, you hold square. You wait till his hands start flaring up, his guns start flaring because it's overheating. Then you can use the overcharge. If you press square, if you press triangle and his hands is not overheating, Barret would he looks like he's gonna be punching like the floor, like he's pointing his gun down. That means his hand is not overcharged. So I got ATB, but see how quick I got that ATB? Now I'm gonna use lightning. A lot of people wasn't doing this. Use thunder. Look at the stagger. That's gonna pop. Look at that. I'm gonna use another one, and it's gonna bring him down. See that? Now he's not staggered, but he's pressured. You know what I mean? And yo, it's so important to use your magic in this game. And I know a lot of people's not using it. Like you guys, you really gotta think. Like, this is a Final Fantasy game. You have to use these abilities to gain some success. Like, this is a beginning part of the game. You imagine when you get into the later parts of the game. It's crazy, man. Yo, Roxas, what is good, man? Yo, Demolition Guy, what is up, man? What is your thoughts about Zobi? I'll get into that like another video right now. Or when I get everything done over and done. Probably when I get to FAQs, I'll mention those things. But I do think a lot of people's lying about their thoughts on the game. You know what I mean? Because they haven't been following the game. That's my personal opinion. Enemies is also weak against certain attacks. Like I said, Guard Scorpion, he's weak against thunder. Use it. It works. This is gonna be a constant theme within this game. No different than Pokemon. You guys like Pokemon, right? There's Pokemons are weak to certain elemental types, right? No different in here. It's an RPG, guys. I know everybody want to think hack and slash, you know what I mean, where everybody's putting out that bad notion out there. Hey, this game is hack and slash. Let them live stream this game, and let them show you that they are hack and slash in this game, and they're getting through. Playing on normal, playing on easy, you probably just hack and slash. Play on normal and try to do that hack and slash stuff with certain enemies. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Also, I know a lot of people, you like to evade in this game, but blocking most likely sometimes work, especially against the shock trooper. Yes, you're gonna take a little bit of damage, but you rather take that little bit of damage rather than evading and the shock trooper does that lunge and hit you and you're taking a chunk of damage. You have a block button in this game. No different than you can guard. It's a little bit different, a little more action, but you can block in this game. It's gonna cost a little bit of health, but sometimes it's just the best of the attack, because like that lunge attack, like I'm a type of person that I look at animations, right? I noticed when that shock trooper does the lunge attack, right? When he does the lunge attack and you block it, the recovery of that shock trooper is like he's recovering. He's like in this stun little state a little bit, and you can just free reign on this thing until it jumps back. But when it just hits you and you get knocked down, it can recover and then move away. So sometimes you just want to block instead of evading. Evading is also good. You know, if you're low on health, obviously you're going to evade, but it's very good sometimes to just block. You know what I mean? Especially with the guard scorpion. I mean the scorpion sentinel. When it's throwing those missiles, you just gotta block that. I see a lot of people evading when I watch their streams. I was like, no, you gotta block that because you're not evading a missile barrage. It's not happening. The dude is sending out like tens of missiles at you. There's no way you can evade that. You gotta block that. You know what I mean? But yeah, those things I think people look into this game and they'll have a much better time of understanding with the battle system. But overall, guys, I love the battle system, man. I think this battle system is A1. Like I've always said, a lot of people win a lot of debates with me when I say this. When it comes to like battle system for Final Fantasy, I always love 13. I don't think 13 is the best of games. I'm not saying that 13 is like a great game, because I think 13 is all right game. But the battle system for 13 is like by far one of my favorite battle systems in the RPG. I feel like 13 is so much fun. You have the different classes, the Ravager, you have the operator mode, you have all those stuff in 17 and 13, and the paradigm shifts. Super fun. I always tell people that I feel like 13 is like an upgrade of 10's battle system. People laugh at me when I say that stuff, but I'm just like, how can you play those two games and not see that? Like, and also I think 10 have one of the best battle systems in Final Fantasy, and this game right here is giving me those vibes again where I'm just like, yo, I can't wait to get into a battle because I'm having so much fun in the battle system. Like the switching over for the tactical mode and switching over controlling my character here using their ATB, like it's so good, man. And it have that action feel as well. It feels very new, but it also feels very old as well, man. So I'm loving the battle system. I feel like a lot of people's gonna love it as well, especially a lot of people getting into like new to Final Fantasy. I feel like a lot of people's gonna sit down and try and learn this because there's also action, but it's also have like those tactical elements as well for like a turn-based game. Not a lot of people say they don't like the turn-based, but I feel like this game can introduce a lot of people into turn-based with this battle system. You know what I mean? That's my personal opinion, but I do like this battle system a lot. Very, very deep, and I think it's just going to get deeper and deeper as the more abilities you get, as you level up. It's going to be amazing, man. And last but not least, I just want to talk about the Sentinel boss. Like I've been showing you guys throughout the stream, the Sentinel boss was just fun as hell, man. This is just a fun ass boss fight. This is a tutorial boss fight, but I'm loving the layers that they add between these bosses, man. Like they like the sweeper. We go from the sweeper to shock enemy. They're taking these enemies and they're making them much more, they're making it much more difficult. They're making them a little bit more, harder to handle. They're adding these layers on these enemies, like the guard scorpion here. I keep calling guard scorpion. The scorpion sentinel, a typical tutorial boss that now has like 3 different layers, 3 different phases within this boss battle. But it like this video right here is like 8 minutes, I think. Oh, it's almost 10 minutes. But I didn't feel like I was in a battle for 10 minutes. I felt like I was in a battle for like 2. That's how good and how much fun I was having with this boss battle. Yo, T-Man, what's good, man? Nah, I don't think there's no way you can say this battle system is for people who hate turn-based. There's no way. This battle system has turn-based in it. It's not like turn-based as far as I'm gotta wait for my ATB. It's turn-based as far as like you have to build up your ATB for you to do real damage. Like I said, you doing all of this right here, all these attacks here, this is not really doing any damage. But now that I have the ATB, I can actually put that bar into using an ability or an item or a magical ability and cast real damage on this enemy. You know what I mean? And it doesn't deviate away, because this right here, this is typical like turn-based right here. You know what I mean? You're taking your time, you're seeing what you want to do as far as an attack, and you're going to execute your plan. So when people say, the battle system is for people who hate turn-based, that's a complete, that's a wrong statement, because the battle system to me is introducing you to turn-based, but it's keeping an action component to it, because this part of this game right here, this is unavoidable. Yo, Lay, what's good? This part right here is unavoidable. There's no way you can avoid you actually using this tactical mode. Even if you use a shortcut, you only have 4 slots for a shortcut. You know what I mean? There's items that you're gonna have to use. There's items that I use here. Ether is not in my shortcut. I had to go into the tactical mode to use Ether for Barrett so you can cast Thunder. This mode right, and this is just a beginning. This is a tutorial boss. Imagine when you fight in a boss like Apps or the 100 Gunner. You're not going to avoid this aspect of this game. And this is the turn-based aspect of the game. Yes, you're doing the action stuff where you're hacking and slashing, but it's not just a mindless hack and slash. You're actually using the hack and slash so you can get the turn-based portion of the battle system. You know what I mean? I don't understand how people have played RPGs for years and say stuff like you know, T-Man, that's my guy. But I'm seeing this a lot on Twitter. This game is like Final Fantasy 15. This game it's nothing like it. It's nothing. Yeah, you have to think here. You have to use your brain here. You telling me that I'm just gonna hold square here and then shoot with Barrett's gun and I'm gonna kill this boss? No, it's unavoidable. This is unavoidable. I'm going to have to go into the tactical mode. I'm going to have to select an ability or use a potion to heal up. Then I'm going to have to attack with the action portion of trying to get the ATB bar so I can do what I got to do again. I don't get it. I don't get it, man. It's crazy to hear people say stuff like that. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. He said the tactical mode is not even close. That I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, team. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. With a turn-based mode, what are you doing in turn-based, guys? Especially with an active time turn-based, right? With an active time turn-based, you are waiting for your bar to fill up so you can do everything that you can do here, where you can select an attack, where you can select to defend, where you can select to do a magic, or you can select to do an ability. And when you do that, you lose your turn and you have to wait until that bar fills up so you can attack again. With this part of the game, they are meshing the two together. I don't know how simple I can put this. They are meshing the two together, where instead of you just sitting back and waiting, you actually have to be in real-time combat to gain ATB, the thing that you wait for in a turn-based game. When it's your turn to attack, you have to actually use the real-time effects of attacking an enemy to gain that. So you have the action portion there, and then when you gain ATB, that's when you get the turn-based portion in there. You get what I'm saying? It's not a hard concept. I've been saying this for 9 months now. I've been telling people it's a hybrid battle system for 9 months. People's laughing. Oh, what are you talking about? Everybody, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't play RPGs. You don't play that. You're not a real fan. Blah, blah, blah. Now everybody's putting out their impressions. Yeah, it's a hybrid. It's a hybrid. It's a hybrid battle system. I've been saying this 9 months ago. No different now. That's like saying Final Fantasy 12 is not turn-based. This game right here has the same mode like 12, where it's attacking. It would attack. Where 12 you can just have auto attacks, right? And then you build up. Then you can go into your abilities, and then you attack, and then you build up. Then you go into ability. It had the same thing here. You can put tactical mode. I'm not gonna play in tactical mode. I'm gonna play in the action, mode. The action, how the game was intended to play. But I just don't see how people can say that there's no type of turn-based portion in here when it's unavoidable. There's no way you can just play this demo and fix your lips and come out here and say, yo, there's no turn-based portion in this mode. That's asinine. Like I said, this is unavoidable. Yes, you are attacking here. Switching over to Barrett here. Just like you would do like an MMO or a Final Fantasy 12. I know a lot of people didn't play 12. Go and play it. I platinum it. Okay? Now, unavoidable. The funny thing about this, I forgot that his shield was up here. And look what happens with his shield up when I use Thunder. It says immune right there. When his shield is up, it's immune to it. And this is kind of like a new thing to the Gar Scorpion here, right? But then now the shield is down. Now we're gonna switch over the Cloud and we're gonna attack, baby. Oh, yo. Also, by the way, in this game, you can get hit out of abilities. There's times where I tried to use the ability and I got hit out of it. You're gonna see it here, cause like I said, this is my first playthrough when I fought this boss. All right, I gotta move out the way. Then I forgot this attack. It hits frontal. I gotta move to the side. So it put us another barrier here. Gotta attack the field generator. I'm targeted. That's a original attack right there, where it targets you. Laser lock you. If I switch over to Barrett, Cloud does his thing here. Why did I cast Thunder on it again? Stupid. But yeah, the battle system in this game is amazing. But I definitely I want to show this part right here, the third part of this battle, because this battle goes into 3 phases. It goes into 3 phases, where when the Scorpion Sentinel gets when it gets enough damage, it's going to go into pretty much the last part of the phase of the original Gar Scorpion, where it puts up his tail and it's like, yo, don't attack with the tail because he's going to counterattack you and hit you with that tail laser, and you're pretty much dead. So we're going to cast Thunder. We're going to weaken it. And one thing I got to say, the AI is pretty smart too, man. Like, the AI not really doing anything stupid. Yeah, you gotta keep track of his health and all that stuff, but it's pretty smart. I'm just casting Thunder. We're gonna go in with Cloud. Alright, so here it is. This is pretty much like the original game here, but they're just making it into a more dynamic flow where debris falling on the ground, and instead of you not attacking it while the tail is up, and if you attack it, it's gonna do this move right here, tail laser. It's automatically going to do tail laser, but you just got to find cover so you can avoid the attack. But if you get hit with this, you're dead. And I just want to show going to show the ender here. But yo, I love this boss battle, man. It was just really good to see. Now actually seeing it and actually doing it yourself, it was just amazing to do that stuff, because we've been watching videos of the Scorpion Sentinel since this game pretty much was was showing this trailer and everybody showing their little demos and all that stuff. But now we're actually playing it. It just felt good, man. Switching over to Barrett, switching over back to Cloud, using cross slash there. Mad fun, man. So I'm going to take out his legs right here. Easy. His legs gonna go down right here. I'm actually surprised that I got the legs out here. And then Cloud's doing his thrust. Oh, I mean Braver right there. And he's pretty much dead here. And it's pretty much dead. Yo, one thing I do miss though, with the game is actually hearing like the fanfare. I did hear Barrett do it when we did like when we finished a fight, you know, with regular enemies, but I kind of missed that. I kind of hope they actually put that in the game, you know, when you beat specific bosses or something like that. We got to have fanfare in there, man. So hopefully they bring that in there as well. But overall, very, very impressed with this demo. You know, I've been sold on the game since the game, you know, was up for pre-ordered. I got the first class edition. I got the digital edition. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna be all over this game. You're not gonna hear when April hit. You're not even gonna hear from me. I'm gonna be uploading tweets and all that stuff, but you're not gonna hear from me for real. I'm gonna be gone, guys. I'm gonna be gone. But I'm very, very impressed with this demo. I'm just happy to see that a lot of people also like the game and they're feeling it, especially the new people. You know what I mean? More so the newer people that's playing the game, like that haven't played Final Fantasy, you know, how they're liking the game and they're buying it. Really, really dope. But I feel like the older people that, you know, love Final Fantasy 7, I feel like it's going to be unavoidable for them to buy the game anyway. But you kind of want to get those new people in there, you know what I mean, to enjoy this game that we've been loving for years upon years upon years. So it's good to see that as well, man. But overall, I'm just happy with the actual, you know, the input that people are putting in with the demo. I'm seeing a lot of positivity with this game, man. There's a few of those negative Nancy's out here, but like I said, those people are not telling their true feelings. Those guys, people that's being negative about this game, they had their mind set up about being negative again, because a lot of those guys, they don't like change. A lot of people, when they look at this remake and they saw how they're doing stuff so differently, they already had like a negative stamp on it already. I already know how those guys are. You know what I mean? I can already read those guys like a book. You know, it's just funny to see when I see those comments. It's funny to see comments like that when they love the original game and all the people from the original game is making the remake and redesigning the game and, you know, putting all of the classic tropes in the game and all that stuff, and they come out and say this game is a disrespect to the original. Yeah, I was laughing when I saw my man Zoe put that tweet. I was like, yeah, Zoe, cut it out, stop lying out here. You're out here trying to deceive the people and lie to the people. But once again, I don't feel like they follow the game. Like, you know, they're not really going to the Square Enix sites and, you know, reading the dev commentary. They're not really following the game, you know what I mean? They're just waiting for the new trailer to come out and just to bash it, you know? But the people that really, really love Final Fantasy and that really play Final Fantasy, those are the people that's really following the game and really, you know, keeping attuned to the game and understanding like the changes that's happening with the game. And this is the other portion of the video that I'm going to be doing, is the FAQ. So my impressions, I'm really, really pleased with it. I'm loving it. Can't wait for the game. Hopefully you guys pick the game up as well. And we're going to just have some fun in April, man. It's going to be an amazing time in April. Yo, Roxas, what's up, bro? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a good point, because like Resident Evil, the remakes, and Remake 2 remake, they put so much changes in that remake that, you know, a lot of people say that they played the original and all that stuff, but they didn't even notice any of the changes. Like certain locations was different, where certain characters where they pop up were kind of different as well. Like they overhauled that game as well, you know. But you know, it is what it is. You can always tell when people really play the games, you know, back in the day and all that stuff, when you notice those little minute things that they you know, put in new or differently in the game. And I'm not even a Resident Evil fan, and I caught on to a lot of those new things that they put into the game. I was like, oh, this kind of different. You don't really meet this person here. This shop wasn't here this close. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. But we're going to do the ultimate FAQ. Bari's FAQ. We're going to be talking about Final Fantasy VII Remake and the things that these devs have been saying throughout this game's announcement. So I just wanted to say first and foremost that this week Final Fantasy VII Remake was announced that the game is gold. So this game is officially has gone gold and will not get any more delays, according to Tetsuya Nomura. So I'm going to read a few things here from my man Tetsuya Nomura, where he states, "We had some time to improve the quality of the final product, but we have already mastered it. There is no further delay," Nomura explained. So yes, this means Final Fantasy VII has now officially gone gold, which is one of the final steps all games go through prior to release. So they have the ultimate disc. Soon these publishers, these media sites are going to be getting a copy of the game, and expect the reviews. I say the reviews going to come out like the last week of March. I do feel like the game is gonna, the reviews going to come out a little bit early, before the release date for sure. So yeah, officially the game has gone gold, and no more delays, guys. Cause we got hit. The game was supposed to come out today. The game was supposed to come out today, if you guys don't remember, and we got hit with that gruesome delay that's coming out April 10th. But yeah, no more delays, guys. It's officially gone gold. So that's the first thing I want to talk about. Another thing that I want to talk about here, there's a few things I'm going to be talking about here, guys. 1 second as I pull my notes up here. The few things I'm going to be talking about here, where I'm going to be doing the ultimate FAQ, but I'm also going to be breaking down who is Sephiroth, right? Because I want to talk about Sephiroth because, like I said, a lot of new people's getting into it. I'm going to pretty much talk about the conception of Sephiroth, what he stands for, and how that portrays to Cloud and everybody else. So we're going to be talking about that, but here is the ultimate FAQ that I want to bring up here. So let's get on to it. I actually wrote down notes, guys. I wrote down notes for the game. So the first game, guys, you guys should already know that it's going to be in Midgard. And according to Yoshinori Kitase, this game, starting out in Midgard, when they first, got the game and it was developing the game, the concept of the game have changed as far as how drastic they wanted to expand upon the game. So a lot of people was complaining that, the game is just in Midgard. How could it be in Midgard? But this game is confirmed to be a 50 to 60 hour game. That's the story beats. Just playing the story alone, the game is going to be 50 to 60 hours. That's according to Yoshinori Kitase, the director of the game. And that was the original director of Final Fantasy VII as well. So all of Midgard is going to be pretty much explorable within the game. The game has a huge expansion, as far as what the original game is. So here's what it says. Final Fantasy VII Remake goes much deeper into the world and characters of Final Fantasy VII than ever before. It's a huge volume of work and data to reimagine this world. Each game in the project will have volume of content comparable to a standalone Final Fantasy. So a lot of people was always questioning, like, how could they make this game episodic like a Telltale game? This is nothing like a Telltale game. This is going to be a full-fledged Final Fantasy game that, just due to the fact that they're reimagining everything, Midgard in itself, Midgard in itself, what we explored, Sector 6, a little bit of 5 and 7. Now we're going to explore all of those sectors, upper plate, lower plates, the slums, going to be explorable within this game. So I was watching a GameSpot preview of the game, because they played the game for 4 hours, and they played chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 4, and then chapter 10. By the time they got to they did a ball fight in chapter 10. Chapter 10, they said the boss fight was the Abzu boss fight. That's the sewer boss that you fight after Don Canero puts you down into the sewers, right? That's chapter 10. That is a part that you get to in the original game probably in like 2 hours. You get to that boss. You know what I mean? That's chapter 10. That's to let you know already how the scope is going to be for this game. And a lot of people always questioning about the second game, right? When's the second game coming? Do we have to wait 10 years? Do we have to wait in 5 years? This is how I know a lot of people don't follow this game. But don't worry, your boy Jay Barry got you. While the development team finished the first game in the project, we are continuing to plan and outline overall volume of the content for the second. Due to the work already done on the first game, we anticipate the development of the second game to be more efficient. We have eternal schedule and plan, but for now, we like to focus our information on the first game of the project. And this was being said back at E3 time. This was back at E3. Back in Tokyo Game Show, Katase was already announcing that they are already working on the second game as well. So the second game was already in development, and he made that announcement back in Tokyo Game Show. My guesstimate as far as when the second game is going to be coming out, I'm going to pretty much say 2021. I'll say probably like late summer, probably fall 2021. I do think that, you know, like they said here, they already have the assets. They're already going to build upon it. It's going to be much quicker to get the games out now that you have that core built already as far as the engine and how to work the engine and all that stuff. It's going to be much quicker to get it out. As far as, you know, him saying, you know, the scope is going to be again a full-fledged Final Fantasy game. So you said another 5 years wait. I don't think we're going to wait another 5 years, my guy. I don't think we're going to wait another 5 years. But like I said earlier in the stream, the reason why we waited 5 years, when the game got announced in 2015 at E3, it was being done by a much different developer. Square Enix, you know, pretty much had CyberConnect 2 creating a remake. At PSX 2015, that was the CyberConnect 2 version of the game that was shown. After they did away with CyberConnect 2, they said they don't want that. I guess they didn't agree with the vision of the game with CyberConnect creating it. Square Enix in-house now is creating the game. So that's why it took much longer for this game to come out, because they redid everything that what CyberConnect was already making. And here's the you know, the game that we're seeing now is actually Square being developing the game. You know what I mean? So a lot of people, when they say, oh, we gotta wait another 5 years, yeah, you waited 5 years for this game because they canned the studio that was not canned, but they told the studio that was making the game, it was like, we don't want you to make it no more, we'll make it in-house. And now they're making everything over, and you can see how expansive what they're doing will having Midgar into a full-fledged 50 to 60 hour Final Fantasy game. You know, you can see why it took so long. But now with the game, you know, being done, the second game, like they said here, you know, while the development team finished the first game in the project, we're continuing to plan to outline overall volume content for the second. Due to the work already done on the first game, we anticipate the development of the second game to be much more efficient. You know what I mean? So you guys can take however you want to take that. You know what I mean? I'm here giving you the information. If you guys want to run with the negative notion or the ignorance, you guys can go ahead and do that. You already got the information here, man. All right. All right, so moving on. They said the first game in the project takes in the electrical city of Midgar, where we choose to focus on Midgar to best represent the world of Final Fantasy VII as a location more than any other. Midgar is a full of imagination and a myriad of influences or surprises around every corner. So like I said, they're taking Midgar and it is reimagining all of Midgar over again. You know what I mean? And I think that's pretty dope. So yeah, like I said, I personally think the second game is going to be coming out. I say 2021, and I say like late summer, or I said in a holiday season. If it gets delayed, it might be 2022. Around this time again, if it gets delayed. But just estimating, I think it would be 2021 holiday. But I'm gonna go and say late summer, holiday 2021 next year. It will be out. The second part of the game. And my track record with this game has been on point. So you're not getting information from a person that is just like clueless and don't know what the hell they're talking about. If you guys have been watching this content on Final Fantasy and what I've been saying about this game, it has been on point, like a thorn out here. Also, another thing that they confirmed is that Red 13, my man Nanaki, will not be playable in this first game, Final Fantasy 7 Remake. And due to the fact that he's not playable, he'll still be in a party, so he'll be like a guest character. They said that they didn't make him playable because you pretty much get Red really, really late in Midgar. And they said that it wouldn't give the gamer too much of a chance to really develop that character due to the fact how late you get him. So they're making him like a guest character. If you guys play other RPGs, there's sometimes you get like a guest character in your party that you already have. So this game consists of like you get a party of 3, but when Red finally gets into the game, you have a party of 4, but you just can't control Red. He'll just be a guest character. You know what I mean? So. You said 2020? I mean, we'll see. The part 2 was already being developed in 2019. So if you're saying 2 years, you get what I'm saying? Trust your boy. All right, so yeah, Red 13 is not going to be playable in this game, guys. Also, another confirmed thing that your boy was on point on again. So Cloud would have like different, Cloud have different like components to his dress and all that stuff that you get when you're in the Wall Market Street. But based on the different components, you see a different like outcome of the dress. So you see like different color and all that stuff, with style or whatever. You'll see that within this game. So like I was assuming when we saw that the latest trailer with the theme, I was like, I don't think that you're just gonna have the black dress for Cloud. I think you're gonna have different colors. It's probably gonna look a certain way, just due to the fact that you would get different components of the dress. And Tetsuya Nomura have confirmed that as well, for the game. So I think that's really cool, because in the old game, in the original game, it doesn't matter what you pretty much got, as far as makeup, the wig, the better wig, the panties. It don't matter what you have got within the game. The dress always looked the same. But here they're bringing it, a little bit more realistic here, as far as the little items that you can get, and the color of the dress will be different with each thing. So that's pretty cool. If you guys want to look at the interview that Nomura had, there's a website called 4Gamer. I'm going to drop it in the chat. You guys can pretty much read it. I mean, you're pretty much going to have to trust Google Translate for it, but it was pretty good on read. So if you guys are really, really interested in the game, definitely go ahead and read this interview. Nomura's a legend. You guys want to read from the legend. You get what I'm saying? You want to read the legend and what he got to say. There's also many other articles where devs have spoke about this game. And you guys should really read that stuff, because it really gives you a cool insight of the mindset of how they're portraying this remake. And it's just mind blowing with how faithful they want to be to the original core, the original fans of this game. It's really dope. But another thing I want to talk about before I get up out of here, you see this, you're going to be seeing this guy in this remake a lot more than you would have saw him in an original game when you're in Midgar. So I just wanted to take the time to talk about Sephiroth a little bit, and pretty much not go into full detail of his origin, but I want to talk about his origin I want to talk about like the relationship that you have with Cloud. I want to hint to a lot of things as well, as far as like Hojo's hypothesis and what he thinks about like the reunion theory and all that things, because that stuff was mentioned within the trailer. So I want to pretty much, you know, share my insight on that stuff and you know, get you guys caught up and you know, my ideas and thoughts on what he was talking about with that, right? So Seth Roth, the badass himself, the villain of Final Fantasy VII, the main bad guy. Well, you know, there's a lot of main bad guys in Final Fantasy VII, but when it comes to as far as the main capoots, the main guy that be bothering Cloud or messing with Cloud's head, is this guy right here, the man that burned down Nibelheim, right? Seth Roth, you know, a lot of people say that he's a clone from Genova, but he's actually a project where, if you guys have played Crisis Core, you know, you hear things like, you know, Project G, you know, and Project S. Seth Roth was the product of Project S. Project S was a project that was directed pretty much from Hojo. This guy right here that you see at the bottom of the, you know, bottom left of the screen. Hojo pretty much was the mastermind that wanted to find the you know, the Holy Land. So, you know, Shinra was pretty much looking for the Holy Land so they can get the unlimited tap source of the live stream so they can generate their Mako, right? And Seth Roth, Hojo used this project with his wife Lucrezia. If you guys remember, Lucrezia was that girl that Vincent had a crush on in Crisis Core, but didn't really get the girl because Hojo was, you know, cop blacking. But Hojo ended up getting the girl and married Lucrezia, and they ended up Lucrezia ended up being pregnant, right? What was the last name again? Crescent, Lucrezia Crescent, where a lot of people will say, who's Seth Roth's mother? You're going to hear this name a lot. You're going to hear this name Genova. You're going to constantly hear Genova. And the reason why, when, you know, you hear that, when people say Seth Roth's mother is Genova, is because that's what Hojo told Seth Roth, so you can keep up with the lie as far as, you know, who his mother really is, right? That's the theory that he went with, because he wanted to pretty much brainwash his son as far as being this legendary soldier for Shinra, right? So Project S, pretty much Project Seth Roth, was pretty much different from Project G, where Project G took Genesis, and you also had Angeal. Angeal is pretty much Zack Fair's like mentor. And that's where Zack pretty much got the Buster Blade from, if you guys remember that from Crisis Core. And those were projects of like, those were derived from Project G, where Gas, he pretty much had, was it Gas or Hollinger? One of those guys. They had, their theory was, if we inject Genova cells within, you know, baby boys, we'll see how they grow up and, you know, get the powers of Genova and all that stuff. Where with Hojo, his project with S was taking his wife, and that his wife was pregnant with Seth Roth. He injected Genova cells within his wife and gave birth to Seth Roth. You know what I mean? Pretty much Seth Roth, he didn't really gain all of the, like, the powers of like the ancient, like the ancient can talk to the planet and all that stuff, but this guy was like a super ass human being. You know what I mean? He pretty much got, he was way more superior to Angeal and Genesis. You guys remember that big ass fight that Angeal, Genesis, and Seth Roth had, because Seth Roth was just a better, you know, soldier, just due to the fact how Project S pretty much injected the Genova cells while Seth Roth was incubated within Lucrezia, right? So he was just absorbing all of those you know, the DNA and the cells of Genova. And Project S pretty much continued. This is where Cloud comes in, and Zack If you guys remember Zack as well, that's pretty much who Cloud pretty much looks up to, and pretty much how that's Cloud pretty much absorbs Zack's, you know, memories and stuff like that, you know, due to the Genova cells injected in the Mako poison. Well, Project S pretty much, you know, brought Cloud and Sephiroth together due to Hojo's theory of if like Genova cells. So this is Hojo's theory. Let me try to break this down in layman's term. Hojo's theory was pretty much if Genova cells were to separate. So he injected Genova cells into multiple people after that Nibelheim incident. That was his cue to do his theory, right? Was to inject Genova cells into multiple people and see that his theory was that if Genova cells was to separate, they will automatically come together because they want to be together. They want to be one. It was compelling to gather together in this reunion. So that's where you're gonna hear that a lot when you play this game. Reunion. So the reunion pretty much hypothesis is the fact that Hojo thinking that, which pretty much he's kind of right, that with Genova cells separated, they're always gonna gather together. So when he injected Genova cells and, you know, induced Cloud and Mako and did the same thing with Zack with Cloud, his theory was that they wasn't technically like clones, but it was just part of Sephiroth now, because Sephiroth, you know, pretty much has those cells in him as well. Well, I think they injected Sephiroth cells within Cloud and Zack, and that would prove his theory correct to bring them together. So when you see the trailer and him said this is proving my theory or my hypothesis correct, he's actually seeing Cloud and Sephiroth coming together like he is predicting with you know, his project, his pretty much his reunion theory. What you said, I think I always think that Soldier First Class projects to be similar to like Captain, pretty much like that. Were you making a super soldier off of, you know, Sephiroth? Because they always wanted to clone Sephiroth, as far as Sephiroth is acting crazy, right? So so we want to create another Sephiroth, and they try to do that with Zack and with Cloud, but there was quote unquote failed experiments, right? And so yeah, that's why you're gonna always see, you know, Sephiroth and Cloud. They're always gonna have that tandem together because, you know, part of Cloud, Sephiroth DNA is in him. You know, when you always see Cloud, you know, Genova or, you know, Sephiroth always in Cloud's mind, and that's part, you know, in the original game, Cloud is always losing his mind and going crazy, and ended up giving, you know, Genova the black materia, because he couldn't control that, because part of her DNA, Sephiroth, is a part of Genova. You know, Genova is a part of all of them. Part of that DNA is within Cloud. So Sephiroth can ultimately manipulate Cloud into doing his will, and that's what you kind of see when he almost killed Aerith, when he gave up the black materia, you know, things like that, because Cloud pretty much couldn't really control of that, even though he got over all of that. You know, that was the reasonings for that stuff. So now when you see, you know, in the demo, you see Cloud like holding his head, and you hear the screen go ch ch and all that stuff. That's just Genova, Sephiroth manipulating him, you know, I mean, doing his will, or, you know, getting closer to that whole reunion factor of the Genova cells will always come back together, because it got to be in tandem, got to be a part of it, got to be in one, right? So that's pretty much like the relationship with Cloud and Sephiroth. Cloud is pretty much like a quote unquote clone, not really a clone, but that's what they call, that's what Hojo is going to pretty much say, a clone of Sephiroth. They're not direct copies, but they're pretty much a clone of Sephiroth because they have his cells within him. Sephiroth's have Genova cells in them, so that's Genova being passed on through all these people. Every soldier have Genova cells in them as well, inducing them, Mako inducing them as well. And like first class is those people that can handle more of that cells, and you see the skills come out within them. So you're going to hear a lot of that stuff as far as soldier first class. You're going to hear, I'm definitely going to hear the hypothesis as far as with Hojo, because you already saw that within the trailer. But Sephiroth is pretty much just pretty much a clone of, not a clone, but he's a baby that has a lot of Genova cells induced in him as he was being incubated in Lucrezia's body, and he was pretty much told a lie on how he, was pretty much birthed. He thought he was birthed from this person named Genova, but that lie pretty much set off how Sephiroth, ultimately became, because Genova is not really his mom. His mom is Lucrezia. The cells of Genova was within him, but he was told that Genova is his mom from Hojo. And when he did all that research in Nibelheim and Nibelheim basement and all that stuff, how he's conceived, Project G, Project S and all that stuff, that turned him rampant. And what Genova is, because Genova pretty much is called the Calamity. She's here to cause destruction upon the earth, and the ancient Cetras put a stop to her, right? And he read all that in those notes, and that's what really set Sephiroth off to do his mother's will. So he's always going to be like his mother, wanted him to destroy this and destroy the earth, use it as a vessel. You hear that in Advent Children, I'm going to use this as a vessel to travel to other earths and destroy it and all that stuff. But ultimately, in 7, Sephiroth got destroyed by Cloud, but it's not easy to pretty much kill Sephiroth. So when he dropped down into the Mako reactor, he was pretty much absorbing all that live stream. He got swept up all the way to the northern crater, and pretty much had the plan to use all the people that had been injected with his cells or Genova cells, to use them to bring that black materia to them, so he can cripple the earth, or cripple not the earth but Gaia, so the planet could self-heal. And once the planet starts self-healing, he will absorb all of that energy for himself and become like the ultimate being within the planet, right? That was the goal of Sephiroth. And you're pretty much going to be hearing that over and over. Well, not hearing, because you're not really seeing Sephiroth in a remake. That's really Genova manipulating herself as Sephiroth, escaping through, the laboratories of Shinra and all that. But you're going to see that, it was a dope battle scene with Genova and etc. in the flashbacks. I don't know if they're gonna, if they show that stuff as well. I don't know if you're probably going to see that stuff in the remake, but I do think that you will see some of like what Crisis Core was saying. I think you're going to see some Zack. You're definitely going to see Sephiroth as probably like a good guy. Hopefully you'll see something like that. But I think they're going to wait till part 2 as far as Cloud telling his side, or Zack's side of what went down with like Nibelheim and why Sephiroth is on this rampage and all that stuff. But Sephiroth is pretty much, that's the reason why he became a badass, man. Pretty much a simple lie of who his mother is, and him researching who this Genova is and what she wanted to do to the planet and inflict the planet, and him doing his mother's will, turning him into this, once hero, because he was a hero for Soldier in the Wutai War. You're going to probably hear that a lot as well. Wutai, that country, you're going to hear that a lot. And the Wutai War, you might hear that a lot in the remake. He was this hero that pretty much was just laying waste to everybody, because he's just a super being. And from a hero to the nemesis he became, of realizing parts of the truth of his conception into this planet. But the tie between him and Cloud is that Cloud have his DNA within him, and with the hypothesis that Hojo has Genova cells that are separate, they will always want to come together, regardless on how far. There's always going to be some type of gathering within there. And you do see that within the game, where you see these cloaked beings, and they have numbers on them, and when you go and talk to them in the original game, they always say the reunion, the meetup and all that stuff. You see them all over the place, and then when you finally get to the northern crater, you see all those people together. Or when you get to the ancient temple, you see those people as well. But plus Ultra said, I want to see how they pull off the ending. That was too epic. Yeah, Rob Gaming TV, what's up, man? From what I hear, from Max last night. We're gonna be in for a treat with the story. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think the story is gonna be amazing, man. I think they're gonna tie in a lot of stuff from different games, because there's no way you're just gonna have like 50 to 60 hours of story content and it's just like all new beats. You're gonna have original beats there, but they're just gonna fine tune it and make everything more consolidated within the Final Fantasy lore. So I think the story is gonna be amazing. Wu Tai Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. But yeah, guys, Sephiroth is gonna be a guy you're gonna hear. I'm pretty sure everybody have heard about Sephiroth, but as far as his origin and how he was conceived, I don't think a lot of people know that with him. Just know that he's basically a specimen of Project S that was derived from Hojo, which Hojo wanted to inject Genova cells within a human fetus, his own child, and Lucrezia, his wife that was pregnant with him, he used her to pretty much do his experiment on. So he injected Lucrezia with Genova cells, and Lucrezia gave birth to Sephiroth. Sephiroth, like I said, didn't gain any abilities as far as like an ancient, because when Shinra found Genova, they thought she was an ancient. That's why you're going to lead her to the promised land, or the Holy Land, however you want to translate it, right? But that's not what she was. She was pretty much like an alien that bestowed upon the Gaia and was causing havoc. And the ancients that Shinra thought that they found, the promised land is pretty much just a bountiful area of the Mako, the life stream coming together at one area, where Shinra thought that that's where Genova was going to lead them to. But they got a different there was a rude awakening with that. So like I said, Hojo, he did experiments on his wife. Sephiroth was born. Sephiroth was way more superior, way more stronger than the two characters that I mentioned, Genesis and Angeal. Those are two other soldiers first class. And the development of Project S pretty much continued within Soldier, where there was injecting Genova cells, Sephiroth cells within other beings, like example Cloud and Zack, and that's where Cloud and Sephiroth come into play as far as their relationship, is that Cloud has Sephiroth cells within him. So they're always going to be in tandem with each other. Like a yin and a yang kind of thing. Thanos is nothing compared to him. Yo, what up, Jay? You was on point too. Yeah, there's a lot of things that I be saying about this game, man. Like I said, I love this game a lot, man. I play this game to death, man. Crisis Core, Final Fantasy, Dirge of Cerberus. Like I said, Dirge of Cerberus, like the movement was very clunky. The story, story was all right, but you got to see Genesis. You kind of got to see Genesis back again a little bit there. But it was an okay game. But I played that as well. You know what I mean? Advent Children, I loved it. Like Final Fantasy 7, I just feel like Final Fantasy 7, a lot of people don't want to give it credit when it's due, but it's really, really a great game where people you can formulate so much stories just based on this world. And we already have seen that within the games. And now that they're remaking this game, they're even expanding the story, and they're consolidating the story a little bit better. They're explaining a lot of things that just due to technology back then, they couldn't really go forward, and then bestowed their vision as far as what they want with the game. But now they can do that here with the technology and how it is. I don't feel like we're in for a treat here with this game, man. And just playing the demo and how fluid that demo is, and how good the banter is, and the dialogue is, and how these characters are being portrayed, I'm highly confident in this game. As far as I'm really honestly satisfied with with how this game is coming out to be. Like I it was a long wait, but I'm really, really satisfied at how the game is like shaping up to be. Like I every trailer I've seen, you know, everything that I've heard and read about this game, I've just been pleased. Like I've been really, really happy. There's a lot of games that I love, you know. I know some, you know, like originally, like I even want this game to be tampered with. That's how much I love the game. Like, you know, when I first saw the remake with Cyber Connect 2s, you know what I mean, I was excited. I was like, oh, it looks great, but I was also concerned, right? Because even at PSX, when I did my live reaction, I was like, what's the battle system? And when they showed the battle system and they showed that it was just like a clone of Kingdom Hearts, you know, I love Kingdom Hearts, but I was still like damn, you know what I mean? I wish it was just a little bit more, you know. I just see Kingdom Hearts here. But when they revealed everything and they showed the trailer and I'm seeing all these menus with the ATB bar and all that stuff, I was like, wait, this battle system is not going to be like Kingdom Hearts. Like Square definitely changed this thing up. And then at E3, that was just like my moment right there. At E3, like I literally was like, that's at awe, because when he was like, when Neil Pabon was just explaining the battle system, is like everything that I was saying about the battle system, you know, a couple of months before, you know, E3, I was just like, I was correct on it. You know what I mean? So that just felt good, that seeing that, yo, Square understand that, yo, yeah, you're going into a new era, and how gamers, you know, will play an RPG now is kind of different. They like more suited like action games, but you're still keeping that nostalgic feel with that tactical mode. And it, like playing the game, it just feels amazing. It feels good. You know what I mean? So I'm very, very happy how everything turned out. Right, where is Genesis? What is he up to? Well, Genesis is dead. Genesis is gone, man. He mutated, man. Like Genesis, you know, Genesis wasn't like a perfect, you know, clone of Genova. Like, there's definitely flaw. Him and Angel, if you remember, like he mutated a little bit, where he became like, you know, kind of like how those, you know, those monsters that you saw when Sephiroth was going into the Nibelheim reactor and he was looking through, and when, you know, it was looking through and he saw like the little monsters, that's pretty much how Genesis became. And he got over consumed by the Genova cells. Yo, Persona, man, appreciate it, man. I definitely appreciate it. But yeah, I'm super excited for this game, guys. I pretty much can't wait for April 10th. It is going to be here very, very soon. Hopefully you guys, you know, enjoyed it, the demo. Hopefully you guys, you know, understand, you know, where these devs are coming from when it comes to this remake, as far as the work that they putting into here. Like I said, guys, I don't think you have nothing to really worry about when it comes to this game. They're reimagining this game. It's going to take a lot of work doing Midgar, and you see that work is being put into, you know, all the hard work put into the demo. You see that work. You can see that this game is going to be much, much more expansive than the original game is. So I just can't wait to April 10th, and you'll definitely be seeing a lot. Did he live? Yeah, cause he escaped, right? I don't remember. Did he live? But you can see the game that's being much more expansive, and that's the detail that they put into the game. I'm super excited, man. I'm happy. I'm happy with listen, Midgard. Would I like a total full package game that is just, you know, 10 discs? Sure, I'll take that, but you know, I don't think, even if you was going to get a full package game with 10 discs, you're not getting that for $60. You know what I mean? A lot of people complaining over here and saying that they just wish it was just one full game. There's no way you were paying $60 for like 10, 12 discs of a game. You know what I mean? It's not happening. Even if the overall game was like 6 discs, you think you're going to pay $60 for that? All that work, all that content being put into the game, you're going to pay $60 for 6 discs? Let's use your brain here, people. regardless or not, you was gonna be paying over $60 to play the complete version of this game. Whether breaking up in parts or having it a full-fledged game, you was gonna pay over $60. There's just no way you're paying all that content that they're doing and reimagining everything. And this game alone is 2 discs. And then now when you think about the next part, and there's gonna be more open world with other towns, probably gonna even be more discs to fit onto the game. And you telling me that you just want to pay $60 for all that content? It would be great, but let's be realistic here. It's not happening. You know what I mean, Chris? Like, there's no way. Like, let's say you got the full game, right? And it's 6 to 7 discs. You think you're gonna pay $60 for that? Huh? You're not, man. Let's keep it a buck here, okay? But yeah, guys, I'm pretty much gonna get up out of here. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed. Hopefully I was, insightful a little bit here, or you guys learn a little bit here as far as the dev's mindset, a little bit more on Sephiroth. I know I was going back and forth with like explaining all that stuff, but hopefully you got something from that as far as the origin of Sephiroth. For those new people, I know the older people, they're probably good on that stuff, but the newer guys getting into that, Sephiroth definitely a cool character, definitely a amazing villain, and I just want to see him even more fleshed out than the original. Like I said, in Midgar, you basically saw Sephiroth towards the end, before you got out of Midgar, but here they say you're gonna be seeing him all over. He's gonna be making an appearance to Cloud much sooner in the remake, so that's gonna be amazing, man. So you're definitely gonna see a much more fleshed out Sephiroth, and yeah, it's gonna be a good time, man. Yeah, definitely go play the demo, guys. I played the demo like 4 times already. I'll probably stream it one of these days, but I know I'm gonna be playing Grand Blue Fantasy. I'm gonna be practicing that a little bit before I go to sleep. But I will stream the demo. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm gonna stream the demo right after this. So yeah, I'm gonna get up out of here, guys. I'm gonna be streaming the demo. So come on through. We're just gonna talk, relax, chill, and I'll see you guys in a couple of minutes. But this is Final Fantasy VII Remake, news number 12. Hopefully you guys enjoy. It's your boy Jay Barty, and I'm gone. Deuces.